Two-year-old son Nick. He has been open in the past about his mental health issues and his struggles with drug addiction.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in L.A. Rob Reiner was 78. He first gained fame winning Emmys as Meathead on TV's All in the Family in the 1970s. Then he became a famous director of movies, from Stand By Me to When Harry Met Sally and Misery to A Few Good Men.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Reiner's last movie, a Spinal Tap sequel, just came out. The search for the gunman in Saturday's Brown University mass shooting is back on in Providence, Rhode Island.
Police admitted that the person of interest they detained yesterday morning at the hotel is not the person that is seen leaving the scene of the shooting. The AG said while there was some evidence that justified detaining this person of interest, recent evidence and lab testing is pointing them in a different direction.
That's Fox's Brian Yennis. Thousands of wreaths have been laid in Australia near the scene of an even bigger mass shooting yesterday, targeting Jews at the start of Hanukkah.
A father and son terror team turned up and attacked the Jewish community here at Bondi Beach. It's the sort of place where most Australians know or go to on their holidays. We're a coastal community. We're talking about more than 42 being taken to hospital with 15 fatalities. A 10-year-old girl who was at a petting zoo by the name of Matilda, she was mowed down. We had 2 rabbis who've also been killed, and a Holocaust survivor was also murdered here in this spree.
Sky News' Jonathan Lee. The older gunman was killed by police. His son disarmed by a bystander, being called a hero. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
President Trump is vowing to retaliate in Syria after the weekend terror attack that killed 2 American soldiers, National Guard members from Iowa, and a civilian interpreter.
We had 3 great patriots terminated by bad people, and not the Syrian government. It was ISIS. The Syrian government fought by our side. The new president fought by our side.
And as Russia continues to attack Ukraine, talks continue, trying to stop the invasion-turned-war. The day after Special Envoy Steve Witkoff posted on social media, a lot of progress was made yesterday.
American envoys are in Berlin, Germany, meeting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Later, the leaders of the UK, Italy, Poland, and NATO fly in, among others. The Europeans want to make sure Ukraine isn't forced to accept a peace deal that favors Russia, while also trying to protect the continent against increasing Russian assertiveness. If Ukraine falls, warns Chancellor Merz, Vladimir Putin won't stop. President Trump's team of Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner held 5 hours of talks on Sunday with President Zelensky. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
There could be gains on Wall Street to start the week. Dow futures up more than 200 points. They're also rising for the NASDAQ after last week's losses. Big news out of the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs, who've won 3 recent Super Bowls and lost 2 more, will not make the playoffs this season after losing a game and their star quarterback.
The throw by Mahomes, incomplete, flag thrown, looking for.
Mahomes is down. Mahomes
Smith-Schuster, he sure is.
Patrick Mahomes suffered a torn ACL in his left knee, putting next season in jeopardy in the Chiefs' 16-13 loss to the LA Chargers on CBS. Now, 2 other teams clinched playoff spots with wins, the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams. Buffalo snapped New England's 10-game win streak, and Minnesota beat Dallas in the Sunday night game. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Merry Christmas from News Talk 710 KURV. I want to cue up the little Christmas bumpers, Freddie, for this. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. You and family driving around town, take care of business. this Monday morning. We start the morning temperatures mostly upper 40s, low 50s, nice and chilly. Conversation about what happens with the temperatures in about 3 minutes with Jason Caterina, so stick around. Big news for Texas growers, South Texas growers. So Mexico City cried uncle this past weekend, announcing they're going to be releasing 249 million cubic meters of water from the Rio Grande today, December 15th, under the 1944 Water Sharing Treaty. There had been a threat from the White House to impose a new 5% tariff against Mexican goods in the event that no water was released, and it promises to be a portion of the water debt Mexico has with the U.S. will be released today. Talks continuing related to this. Comments from Senator Ted Cruz, who joined us late last week, right before the announcement. He's watching this like a hawk. Comments on that and other economic news for South Texas. That's coming up at 7:15. Voters have chosen some city council members in Edinburg and South Padre. Yes, we had an election this past weekend. It was a runoff election. Again, all these numbers unofficial, all these results unofficial. Runoff results for the city of Edinburg. Jason De Leon is going to be seated at place 2. And in South Padre, Aaron Hartwell also appears to have won the South Padre Island place 2 seat. Back to agriculture. Again, Texas agriculture officials are warning farmers about a new pest threatening pastures and hayfields.
Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller issued an urgent alert about the pasture mealybug, a small fuzzy white insect that attacks grasses relied upon to feed livestock, including cattle and horses. Farmers first reported the pest in April, though officials believe it may have arrived in the U.S. as early as 2022. The pasture mealybug, never before seen in North America, was first identified in Australia in 1928, where it devastated millions of acres of grazing land. Unlike the New World screwworm, which threatens livestock directly, the mealybug damages the food supply by sucking the life out of grasses and leaving behind harmful waste that causes pasture dieback. Nearly 24 counties in South and Southeastern Texas have reported infestations, including Hidalgo and Cameron counties in the Rio Grande Valley. Jeff Burkett, TSN News.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News. Education note, this from Central Texas. One of the state's largest charter school operators planning to close 2 of their Central Texas San Antonio campuses next fall. Plus, they plan to close 5 in Austin. KIPP, Texas Public Schools, announcing late last week that the closures are prompted by declining enrollment. A charter school enrollment is on the rise in Texas, but some charter schools are closing at a time when even their public school counterparts down the street are also shutting down campuses because of lower enrollment. KIPP officials said that they could either close schools or lay off more staff. It's coming up on 7:09 on Newstalk 710 KURV. And just a quick note on the Powerball, if you do that, it's worth more than $1 billion now for the next drawing. It's AccuWeather with the time. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina joining us. But first, let me say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. You never know, you might find the perfect gift at Martin Farm and Ranch. Something for perhaps some farm work, or maybe some knives or some other accessories as well. You never know unless you look. So go visit Martin Farm and Ranch for that perfect gift. Purina Feeds, you'll find the best at Martin Farm and Ranch. Say hi to Dougie if you stop by. So we start the morning temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. Is this the coolest night of the week? Jason Caterina joining us, or you're going to cool things down a bit more for Tuesday?
No, it'll turn a bit milder as we head through tonight, and a bit of a warming trend as we head through Thursday at least. Then it'll cool back down a little bit on Friday. Got a big sprawling area of high pressure cranked winds out of the north, and that's helping to bring some cooler air in for us to start the week. But little system going to make its way up the coast on Wednesday. That'll bring a couple of showers around for us, and then bump up the temperatures Thursday as the winds shift more into the south for us.
All right, so Christmas is 10 days away. There you go. Run the computers. 10-day forecast.
Yeah, still looking a little warmer. Things have changed up a little bit with the jet stream passing a little further north, so that's keeping things warmer for us. Mid and upper 70s Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at this point.
Which means
Santa's got to throw the wheels on the sled.
Well, yeah. Well, at least all the ice will melt on the way down here. We're looking at what, like in the 60s overnight? Is that what it is, like Christmas Eve? Christmas night?
Yeah, low 60s, near 60 degrees. So low 60s, low to mid 60s for us.
Could be worse. It's going to be 90 degrees Christmas Day. We've been in situations like that where it's like 90 degrees in the past on Christmas. Yeah, I agree. I'm also booing with a boo. That's right. So is it any snow anywhere between here and the end of the year, like Central Texas or West Texas or anything like that? Cold weather?
Looking milder for the second half of the month. Honestly, like I said, that jet stream shifting a little further north, keeping all the storms there, and that's going to kind of keep the cold fronts from dipping down.
That stinks. All right. That's here.
Happy Monday.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, just be grateful for the weather. You got it. Let's see here. I forgot to post the national stuff. Oh yeah, it's Cupcake Day today.
Ooh, I like cupcakes.
Yeah, so cupcakes, and of course we celebrate our Bill of Rights, and we're saving some cupcakes for those who are hoarding cats. I'm sorry, herding cats. I'm sorry, not cat. Cat Herder Day. The other one's totally different. The cat hoarder would be producer Freddie, by the way. She'd say, like, how many feral cats do you feed for your family, Freddie? It's not even his cats. It's like mama wants to feed the cats. The kiddos want to feed the cats. So he's feeding cats every day.
They want the cats.
They
want
want
the one out there feeding them.
You're a good
So
dad.
there's like-
God bless you for taking care of those cats.
Yeah, there are like 6 or 7 of them.
6 or 7 cats.
And we have 3 inside.
Oof. My goodness.
Yeah, so they were definitely a cat family.
Do they show any appreciation for
2 of them do.
They do?
2 of them are nice.
How so? What, do they come around your leg
Come
and they
around,
hug
they
you?
actually let you touch.
Oh.
and pat.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's impressive
Other
for
ones
a
are
feral
like,
cat.
Get out of here. No, just put the food on the floor and walk away, sir.
Walk away slowly, sir.
Well,
Yeah.
they give you an evil eye, they stink
Yeah.
eye, right?
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't be throwing rocks, Freddie. We're feeding like 3 cats. I've become Tim Sullivan. Remember how Tim we used to say he used to feed cats
Jason,
all the
if
time?
If you ever come down here, Jason, you're going to see a whole bunch of, man, we got to control the pet population.
I know.
Mm.
It's bad.
I wish there was like birth control. I could feed them.
Yes.
So they don't. And so we got 3. We're up to 3 now, Freddie.
Yeah.
I got a little bowl.
You're
In fact, I got a little
halfway
bowl
there to where I'm
on the
at.
way out.
Go for it.
Before I come to work, 4 o'clock in the morning, put a little food out there, right? I know Jason's got to go. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. Jason Caterina.
I'll talk to you guys a little bit.
All right, pal. I gotta release him by 12 minutes after. It's now 13. I wonder which station he goes to after us. Buffalo, New York's going, hey, we actually have some weather over here. We're too late. Where's Jason? Right. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. We start this morning, temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s, and that is your AccuWeather forecast. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV as we enjoy the generic Christmas-sounding music to the break. Comments from our Senator Ted Cruz watching the water debt situation with Mexico as a hawk. Now, the lead story this morning is that Mexico is going to release a new portion of their water debt with the U.S. today. In fact, December 15th, today they were supposed to release. We got that announcement like a couple days back. And our Senator Ted Cruz commenting on watching that issue, plus other economic notes for South Texas, including what next for Starbase and launching rockets into space. Could we? Might we? Should we? I asked him if we could maybe land something with Space Force down here. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology that makes up the amazing Genesis vehicle lineup. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2026 Genesis GV80 with an impressive 0.99% APR for 36 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com.
Scotts Pro Vista is the next generation grass. It requires less fertilizer to stay healthy with a deep green color that thrives in the sun or shade. Plus, it requires 50% less mowing than St. Augustine. Achieve eye-catching curb appeal and complete weed control. The future is here. There's never been anything else like Scotts Pro Vista. Hank Assad is the exclusive grower of the next generation of sod in the Rio Grande Valley. Call today, 956-207-9004.
Later tonight, tune in for Westwood One's coverage of Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins visit the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kickoff at 7:15. Powered by McAllen Bolt and News Talk 710 KURV.
News Talk 710 KURV is also your radio station in South Texas for Texas A&M football. The Aggies hosting the Hurricanes from Miami. So it's this coming Saturday, 11 o'clock kickoff on 710 KURV. Thank you to our many supporters, including the Burt Ogden Auto Group, and big thanks as well to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Texas Senator Ted Cruz joining us on the program. Let's start with the Mexican water issue, the water debt. You know, we've been looking at this for some time, Senator, and we saw Mexico benefit from some nice rain this past summer. And with all the fancy schmancy new dams that they have, we know that they're holding on to water, Senator. Yes, they forked over because President Trump, you and Senator Cornyn and Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz and everybody made enough noise and got the president involved to get Mexico to fork over some water. They have more water. I think we could benefit from another, go around. Let's go back to that well. So tell me about efforts to get them to pay up like now that they are holding some water in Mexico before they use it up.
Well, Sergio, you're absolutely right. For years, I have been leading the fight to get Mexico to give South Texas the water it is owed. Under the 1944 Water Treaty that Mexico signed and ratified, they are obligated to give 350,000 acre-feet of water a year to South Texas. Under the Biden administration, Mexico began just flagrantly violating that treaty. They began diverting the water, taking it from farmers and ranchers in the Rio Grande Valley and sending it instead to northern Mexico. And in South Texas, we are seeing the results of not enough water. We saw last year the only sugar mill in Texas close because of the drought that was caused by the Mexicans violating this treaty. And the Mexican farms in northern Mexico are awash with water. They are verdant and green, and it is from water they have stolen from Texas farmers and ranchers. No matter how hard I tried, the Biden administration was not willing to lift a finger, was not willing to do anything to pressure Mexico into meeting its treaty obligations. At the end of last year, I authored legislation, passed it into law, that gave $280 million in emergency relief to Texas farmers and ranchers who had been suffering from this man-made drought because Mexico's violating the treaty. That money has now been delivered to farmers and ranchers. But I'll tell you, the farmers and ranchers, they don't want relief money. What they want is they want their damn water so they can grow their crops. And so President Trump earlier this year sent out a Truth Social demanding that Mexico honor its treaty. I helped the president write that Truth Social. It was incredibly important. When he sent it out earlier this year, that night, Claudia Sheinbaum, the Mexican president, called an emergency cabinet meeting. And what resulted is that Mexico delivered roughly 320,000 acre-feet of water. That was good. That was needed. Now, where are we now? Well, the treaty works in 5-year increments. And under the treaty, Mexico was obligated to provide over the last 5 years 1.75 million acre-feet of water. They provided only about half of it. They provided 885,000 acre-feet of water. And so just this week, President Trump sent out another Truth Social, which I helped him write again, that makes clear that Mexico needs to honor their commitment. Here's what the president said on Tuesday, quote, Mexico continues to violate our comprehensive water treaty, and this violation is seriously hurting our beautiful Texas crops and livestock. Mexico still owes the U.S. over 800,000 acre-feet of water for failing to comply with our treaty over the past 5 years. The U.S. needs Mexico to release 200,000 acre-feet of water before December 31st, and the rest must come soon after. As of now, Mexico is not responding, and it is very unfair to our U.S. farmers who deserve this much-needed water. That is why I have authorized documentation to impose a 5% tariff on Mexico if this water isn't released immediately. Immediately is in all caps. The longer Mexico takes to release the water, the more our farmers are hurt. Mexico has an obligation to fix this now. That is exactly right. The president is exactly right. And I'm going to keep pressing. I want to see 200,000 acre feet of water by the end of this year. And Mexico needs to honor its commitment and deliver the entire 800,000 acre feet of water that they owe South Texas.
All right. If not, you got the increase of that 5% tariff against Mexico, which brings me to another topic that you sitting on Commerce Committee. Ted Cruz, our senator, joining us right now on the program on Commerce Committee. How involved are you? You getting your hands dirty, maybe getting in the conversations on USMCA, on the review for USMCA expected summer next year? I know there are conversations taking place on that up there.
There are conversations at this point. It's primarily within the administration that they're having conversations. As it moves forward, obviously Congress will be heavily involved. But at this point, the primary efforts are internally within the administration.
You want it to continue? You want USMCA to continue?
I am a huge proponent of increased trade between the United States and Mexico, and increased trade between the United States and Canada. And so, look, what I expect is that the president is going to work to make the agreement better. And that's what he's been pushing to do on trade across the board. One of the things the president has been very effective is using the threat of tariffs as leverage to open up other markets, to open up other markets to Texas farmers and ranchers and manufacturers and small businesses. That is a good thing. We have seen that the threat of tariffs is very effective as leverage. Now, Sergio, there are different camps within the administration. There are some people within the administration that want to use tariffs as leverage to open up foreign markets. There are others who just want to see tariffs in place forever. I am very much in the first camp. I am very much in the camp of use every bit of leverage we have to open up foreign markets, because I think Texas farmers and ranchers and manufacturers compete exceptionally well when we open up markets. There are voices in the administration that want to leave tariffs in place forever. I think that would be a mistake. And so that argument is playing out real time within the administration.
You've got your ear on the ground there in D.C. Maybe you would be able to comment on this real quick. Ted Cruz, our senator, joining us on the program. So the other day there was a 16-page long letter, like a half paragraph, asking the administration and a trade chief looking at USMCA, and the remaining 15 and a half pages, long list of economic development entities from various states, chambers of commerce, county reps, all these people saying, Mr. President, please don't kill USMCA. Do you think that's a possibility? USMCA, the U.S. would step away from USMCA? I mean, what do you hear up in D.C. from the White House?
Yeah, look, I hope not. I don't think so. I think what I expect is the administration is going to try to renegotiate the USMCA to make it better and to use the leverage we have to further open up the Mexican markets and the Canadian markets. And using that leverage would be a good thing. Are there voices in the administration that would want to walk away from it? Yes. I hope those voices don't prevail. And certainly the case that I'm making to the president, and I speak to the president often, typically every week, sometimes every day. And the case that I'm making to the president is use the leverage we have to expand trade. As you know, I've also been leading the fight to build new bridges from South Texas to Mexico, physical bridges, because those bridges result in thousands of new jobs and billions of dollars of economic growth as we increase the trade and commerce. And the Rio Grande Valley is booming right now because of that enhanced trade and commerce. And I want to see the Rio Grande Valley continue doing better and better economically. I want it to be a place where young people want to stay and build a career because they see a strong future going forward. And the more jobs we have, the more high-paying jobs we have, the better the valley will be.
Yes, sir. Our Senator Ted Cruz joining us. And if you do visit the valley, Q1, Q2, 2026, I don't know, cut the ribbon at the new Ansel Lewis full throttle commercial bridge. Come stop by. We're nearby here in Mission. Come and see your studio here at KURV. I wanted to ask you,
awesome.
when was the last time you visited Elon Musk and friends over at Starbase? Just curious.
So I was at Starbase about a year ago for a launch that I was there with Elon and with President Trump. So I haven't been to Boca Chica in about a year. I saw Elon just a month ago, and I talk to Elon frequently. I mean, Elon is a good friend, and he is investing billions and billions of dollars, certainly in South Texas and Boca Chica, but all throughout Texas. And so I think he's one of the great entrepreneurs and job creators the world has ever seen.
I mentioned him. You were mentioning the economic boom, Boomtown USA, RGV. It's amazing, sir. And yeah, he's a huge part of that. And anyway, I just want to put a bug in your ear. He's got like 4,000 or 5,000 people working now. He's probably going to have like 8,000 people in the next 18 months there. That is HQ for SpaceX, is here, Brownsville, the RGV. And I don't know, I just, something to think about. I think this place would be a perfect site for Space Force, maybe a little office, or, we got a lot of payload needs to be delivered, things like that. So what do you think? Maybe suggest that they consider a government site, or, use it more often as a contract site, or maybe set up a little base for Space Force here in the Valley. What do you think?
Sergio, I will tell you, I literally am in conversations this week with the Department of War about shifting substantially more of Space Force to Texas. I think that is very important, and I am urging the administration to do exactly that. I started the day by meeting this morning with the CEO of Next Decade, which, as you know, is building the huge LNG export terminal in Brownsville.
Awesome.
And the Biden administration had shut that down, and thankfully I led the fight to turn it around, and we got it turned around. And that's, just that LNG facility is over 5,000 high-paying jobs, and they're looking at potentially even doubling the size of that LNG facility. That is great for South Texas. Between the LNG export terminal and SpaceX down there, we are seeing high-paying jobs just growing dramatically down in the valley.
I got to ask you one more question. You're on Foreign Affairs. Yep. Okay. We got, what was the inventory? I saw this number: 12 warships, 15 to 20,000 U.S. troops nearby on those ships. So Venezuela. Your opinion, real quick, on all this firepower and manpower that we have nearby. Are we about to help with a not so peaceful transition of power? It's not regime change. I mean, after all, Nick Maduro, he lost the election, and we got Miss Machado out there receiving a Nobel Peace Prize through her daughter because she fears for her life, and she finally came out of hiding after a year. So what's at play here? What's going on? Just your thoughts. And if we do something like that, because President Trump said that Maduro's days are numbered, he said. Okay. So what are your thoughts?
You are right that Maduro is a dictator. He is illegitimate. He lost the last election and is staying in power by force. He is also a major narco trafficker, and he is complicit in the drugs that are flooding into the United States. And so the president has flowed considerable military assets to the Caribbean. They are intercepting drugs. I got to tell you, Sergio, if you're a guy in Venezuela and a narco trafficker says, okay, would you drive this speedboat? It's full of cocaine. I'll tell you this, you're thinking twice about that, because fire from the sky is coming down on those speedboats full of cocaine. And that is, 2 years ago, more than 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses. And when you combine that with the Democrats' open borders, we had the entirety of the Biden administration. Our young people were being killed at massive numbers. 100,000, that is nearly twice as many deaths as we had the entirety of the Vietnam War. The whole Vietnam War, just over 60,000 Americans died. We had over 100,000 Americans die 2 years ago from drug overdoses. And President Trump, quite rightly, is standing up and saying, if you are flooding drugs into our country and you are invading our country with these poisons and killing our kids, we are going to do something to stop it. I salute him. Every one of these ships he sinks, American lives are saved. People don't die because these narco traffickers right now, they are afraid for their lives, and they should be.
Merry Christmas and blessings. Continued success in 2026, Senator. Thanks for the call.
Merry Christmas. God bless.
Ted Cruz, our junior senator from Texas.
Look at the rack on that one. That buck's been eating Purina Antler Max 20 because it ensures maximum antler growth. In the fall, Martin Farm and Ranch recommends Purina Rut and Conditioner 16 for keeping your deer and exotics in top condition during winter rut. For breeding operations, we're fully stocked with Antler Max deer breeder rations with a large selection of all seasons feeders and blinds and Purina Antler Max feeds. Your deer couldn't do any better.
Come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
Come into Volvo Cars Edinburgh today and find the Volvo that's right for you. Shop from a great selection of Volvos today. Get comfortable in the incredible new 2026 Volvo XC40 with all new technology and innovation that makes the Volvo brand stand out from the rest. Lease one today for just $389 a month. That's right, $389 a month. We shop the competition so you don't have to at Volvo Cars Edinburgh.
Dale gas!
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show starting at 9, followed by the Dana Lash Show at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potomy app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Dallas Cowboys took a massive blow to their playoff hopes last night as they fell to a J.J. McCarthy-led Minnesota Vikings squad, 34-26. Despite an offensive explosion resulting in 423 yards, the defense was unable to hold McCarthy, who has started to find his footing in recent weeks. The boys will look to rebound next Sunday as they take on Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers in Arlington. Heading down I-45, the Houston Texans played host to a struggling Cardinals squad who came into the game losing 11 of their last 12. The Texans would go on to cruise to an easy victory, trouncing the Big Red 40-20. The Texans will remain in Houston for this week as they host the Las Vegas Raiders, who are tied for last place in the league at 2-12. The game will be next Sunday at 3:25. Finally, Victor Wembanyama made his return to the Spurs lineup as San Antonio took on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Loud City got off to a hot start with a 14-4 run early in the first quarter, and the Spurs would struggle for a large chunk of the first half. The second half was back and forth and featured 6 lead changes. The Spurs would go on to win the game 111-109 with Fox, Wemby, Vassell, and Castle combining for 89, a staggering 80% of the team's points. Tomorrow, the Spurs will compete in the conclusion to the NBA Cup as they face off against Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. I'm Adam C., and that's your Texas in the Morning Sports Report.
Here's 710 Monday morning. And I love this weather. I love it for a while, and then I'll get sick of it. Okay, bring back the warmth. So right now, temperatures upper 40s, low 50s. It's 48 at downtown Brownsville, 48 at Starbase. Same thing at the Rio Grande Valley at Port of Brownsville, 48. And it's It's 50 in McAllen, Mission, and in Edinburgh. Highs today, mid-60s, says AccuWeather. Border Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. Let's see if I can update for both markets. So we're at an hour at the Ensaduas Bridge, about 45 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge, 1 hour at FAR at last check. And if you're headed back to Brownsville, 1 hour beginning, hour and a half driving back to the U.S. on the Gateway Bridge, about 45 minutes at the Veterans Bridge. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Stick around for your chance to win a family 4-pack to that gorgeous convention center, McAllen Convention Center campus. It's the South Pole Illuminated Festival in McAllen. Producer Freddie has a family 4-pack or 2 to give away, so stick around. I'll tell you when to call, actually when to check in on the WhatsApp line for KURV.
Tune in weekdays to hear the Brad Sham Dallas Cowboys Report.
Hi again, everyone. This is today's Dallas Cowboys Report. I'm Brad Sham.
Brad Sham, the voice of the Dallas Cowboys, will bring you a daily look inside the Dallas Cowboys with highlights, interviews, and key matchups. Catch up on all the latest news from America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The Brad Sham Dallas Cowboys Report, brought to you by McAllen International Airport.
Since 1955, Martin Farm and Ranch has been the Valley's premier Purina feed and hay dealer.
But we're so much more than a feed store.
We carry saddles and tack, tons of show feeds and supplements, and the best line of cattle chutes and sweep tubs, alleyways and scales around. Not to mention acres of ranch fencing and posts.
The Martin family would like to thank you for 65 years of business. And let's all give thanks for the birth of the Christ child. Merry Christmas!
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 and Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. A new CNBC survey found the high cost of goods has emerged as a major factor affecting how much shoppers spend and where they spend it. Overall, 41% of Americans plan to spend less for the holidays this year, which is 6 points higher than a year ago. Bloomberg News reports software company ServiceNow is in advanced talks to buy cybersecurity startup Armis, which was last valued at $6.1 billion. The deal, which could reach a $7 billion valuation, would be ServiceNow's largest acquisition. YouTube CEO Neil Mohan is the latest in line of tech bosses who have admitted to limiting their children's social media use as the harms of being online for young people have become more evident. Mohan, who took the helm of YouTube's leadership in 2023, was just named Time's 2025 CEO of the Year. Futures are moderately higher. Friday, the Dow Industrials lost 245, the Nasdaq down 398, the S&P 500 down 73. That's Your Money Now.
It's chilly. It's nice. Temperature is upper 40s right now, low 50s. Highs today should be mid 60s, says AccuWeather. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. Merry Christmas from 710 KURV and our many, many local business supporters and all their families. We hope for peace and love and happiness and lots of extra calories this Christmas. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on 710 KURV.
This holiday season, we'd like to extend a big thanks to our family, friends, and customers. Whether you've been shopping Glick Twins all your life or just recently discovered us, you know we've got the very best selection of guns, knives, and scopes at the very best prices. Glick Twins is your go-to store for holiday shopping because behind the counter is the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff in all of South Texas. This Christmas season, be on the lookout for super specials on guns, scopes, knives, and clothing. From all of us at Glick Twins, Merry Christmas.
And a Merry Christmas to you, your family, from a wonderful family in South Texas. They have loved through a generation and a half, 60 plus years now. They've been, their family, the McCaleb family, has been loving on South Texas families that experience that many times unexpected separation and loss. It's the McCaleb Funeral Home family in Weslaco, Texas. And on behalf of Mark and Carla and all of theirs, they wish you love and blessings and happiness this holiday season. Think ahead for your family's sake. I know that like life insurance and financial matters, you've had a chance to sit down and figure things out and just put them on the shelf. One other thing that you could do. I'm a fan of what they're announcing because my mom and dad, I'm an only son, and my mom and dad, they pre-planned and prepaid their funeral event, knowing that the Lord was going to call them home someday. When that time came and I needed to be with my immediate family, my kids, my wife, it was wonderful to have a lot of this, all these decisions that were made, all these things that were chosen, all that stress and heartache. I just needed to be alone and quiet. And mom and dad made those decisions. And they prepaid as well. That stress was off my back. So that's a very loving thing to do. And I encourage you to do that as well by calling Carla McCaleb. Call or text Carla McCaleb. I want to give you her personal number and tell her, hey, Serge was talking about you again. Can you send someone over to Brownsville or Port Isabel or wherever you are, McAllen area, Harlingen? They'll go to you. Carla McCaleb is at 956-650-2841.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drtsprimary.care.com.
Power, performance, and savings. The Coyote year-end clearance event is on now at Rivetta's Machinery in Donna. For more than 50 years and 3 generations, the Rivetta families proudly served the Rio Grande Valley, and today they continue that tradition with Coyote, the name trusted for power, reliability, and value. Right now, they're clearing out Coyote tractors, zero-turns, utility vehicles, and compact construction equipment, all at incredible year-end savings. From the small but mighty 21 horsepower models all the way up to the brand new 140 horsepower Coyote HX 1402, they have the right machine for every job and every budget. And with financing as low as 0% interest and 0 down payment with approved credit, there's never been a better time to join the Rivetta's family. Go see why generations of hardworking Texans choose Rivetta's for tractors, equipment, and service that go the distance. Visit them on Expressway 83 in Donna between Hutto and Valverde Roads. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
More than just the headlines.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Appreciate you starting your day with News Talk 710 KURV, the Valley's Morning News. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. He's the popular guy this morning. He's like the high school quarterback this morning of news. Everybody loves him. Oh, he's just wavy hair and all that stuff. Temperature's nice and cold and cool. Unless, of course, you hate this weather, then you're hating on him as well. Right now, upper 40s, low 50s. High should be mid 60s. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez, injury attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm CJ Papa. Hollywood legend Rob Reiner's wife, Michelle, found dead inside their Los Angeles area home.
Police did confirm that the initial call came from inside the home. There are reports that it was made by Reiner's daughter, Romy. Some reports that among those being questioned is the Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick. He has been open in the past about his mental health issues and his struggles with drug addiction.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt at the scene in Brentwood. At least 15 people gunned down on a beach in Australia. The anti-Semitic attack at a Hanukkah celebration Sunday night. Cops say a father and son opened fire.
The 24-year-old who was born in Australia is now in police custody. He's under watch at hospital.
Sky News reporter Jonathan Lee. The father was killed. America's listening to Fox News.
The Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Also broadcasting at Radio Para Mí. Download the free app. Mexico announcing that they will be releasing 249 million cubic meters of water owed to the U.S. under the 1944 Water Sharing Treaty. That water is set to be released today. Comments from the administration, from U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, in the news saying that President Trump continues to put American farmers first and finally holding our international partners accountable for their water owed to the U.S. In agriculture, another invasive insect has triggered warnings in the state of Texas.
The state's ranchers are already prepping for the arrival of a flesh-eating insect that can destroy livestock herds. It's headed north through Mexico. Now there's a warning about something called the mealybug, which is damaging the pastures used for grazing.
We're about 20 counties from the Rio Grande Valley over to Victoria all the way up to Waco is where we're finding it.
Texas Ag Commissioner Sid Miller says the mealybug came from Australia, where it's causing havoc for their cattle industry. He's working with the USDA to find an emergency use pesticide.
That's Michael Board with that report. News Talk 710 KURV is your station in the Valley for Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night football. So tonight, we got the Steelers. What's up, Tony Farina? He's like the only Steelers fan in the area, right? FIFA Farina. And they're hosting the Dolphins tonight at 6. The broadcast on 710 KURV made possible by McAllen Bolts. Merry Christmas from News Talk 710 KURV. So many different business get-togethers, family get-togethers. It's Christmas time. It's that season. Don't forget to take with you a football-sized pack of tamales. That's the size of it. It's like a football-sized pack. It's nice and hot. You won't be able to hold it with your hands unless you're wearing gloves because it's nice and hot. It's piping hot. Pork tamales, seasonal favorite, available at El Pato restaurants all across the area. elpato.com. You can order online. What I do, I phone it in. You know me. I know the location nearby. El Pato is a regular at our house because the food goes down so good. It's so delicious, so tasty. It's like mom's cooking, like abuelita's cooking, but it's just so good and they're so fast at getting it. Look, call it in, phone it in, elpato.com, order online, and get your, for example, the Chalupato plate special right now, which is the fat taco, the pato, full of carne guisada or chicken guisado, the chalupa, the tostada with a refried bean, lettuce, tomato, cheese, don't forget the red sauce, the rice, the beans, could be refried beans if you want, or cheddar beans, and the drink, an amazing $7.99. Daily specials, only $5.99. Stack up those plates as I do with the family. It's El Pato. Don't forget the tamales. Pork tamales, only $9.99 for a limited time.
They said copies for a penny couldn't be done. We said, watch us. Total Imaging Solutions. We're flipping the script on printing. Whether you're a small business or a big operation, it doesn't